2 days and more than 2,000 people have been killed by RSF. People are describing the war as a civil war. This is a wrong. It's not a correct. It's a proxy war, by the way, because other countries, yes, supplying the RSF, sponsoring them, and I think and I feel that Emirates will never give up.
It is unprecedented and unthinkable what we're seeing today in Sudan. Satellite images are catching what's happening on the ground, the bloodshed, the killing, the massacre. We're talking about El-Fasher in Sudan, which is now at the center of what is being called a massive killing spree by the RSF. What's happening on the ground? How is aid, or is aid reaching the war-torn area of Sudan at all? It has been a long time that the army and the paras are fighting against each other. To discuss this and more, I'm being joined by Nassar Mohammed. He's a social activist from Sudan. Nassar, let's just begin with the situation on the ground when it comes to El-Fasher. We know that a lot of people have been displaced, aid not reaching them, not enough food. So just explain the situation and how dire is it?
Yeah, and actually, what going on in Fashir, it's something that the world seen ever since, because the evidence is available in every platform in social media. Yeah, what happened in the Fashir, something really shocked the entire world, and even all people, those whom they have a little humanitarian, since they can feel this is not good to happen for the human. So, and actually the thing, yeah, continually, even nowadays, the war is not stopped. It's continually on by, like we here as well, who we live here in Sudan, we are hearing from far away, but we have a lot of friends over there from where we started with them. They are telling us about what exactly going there. It's a bad thing. It's a bad situation. Yeah, no medicine, no enough food, no good water. This is what exactly happened on the ground nowadays in El-Fasher.
Okay, we do know that RSF has taken control of El-Fasher. What happens now? The videos are grim, they're dark, and they tell how humanity itself is lost in Sudan today. The kind of killing that we're seeing, the videos that are being put out on social media clearly show that there is no control and there is no way that the international community or forces can actually come in to control the situation. In such a
Yeah,
scenario, what is what is the international community doing? How are aid workers really working in Sudan? How is food being supplied? Is it being supplied at all? 500,000 children have died in Sudan out of starvation.
of course, this is true. This is what's happened nowadays in the ground here in Sudan. Yeah, there's no food, no medicine, and also not only in El-Fasher, even in the rest of the states where the war not reached yet. Yeah, all of them they're in suffer. We are citizens. We are living in danger, living without dream, without thinking about the future. Just what we do is because just to live. Just even the work you do, just you are doing it because you don't have any thoughts about what is going to happen coming days or next week or next month. This is what exactly we are going in Sudan, not only Fashir, but when we come to Fashir, this something is clear with more evidence. Everyone knows about what exactly happened, but we can be closer to what exactly happened. That's why many channels came to ask us what exactly happened. The same way you saw it is that, but what will be different is that I have a lot of friends, as I mentioned at the first, whom they are telling me, yes, whom they are survived at this situation, who they can explain a lot of what exactly going on there. Yeah, there are loads of kids children whom they died because of hunger, poverty, and also displacement. Even now, continually moving away between 2 days and more than 2,000 people have been killed by RSF. So RSF, what we came to describe about it the war many people are describing the war as a civil war. This is a wrong. It's not a correct. It's a proxy war, by the way, because other countries, yes, supplying the RSF, sponsoring them, and other to applying of the countries. So as we understand as citizens, exactly.
It's not a civil war, it's a proxy war, Nassar. That's a very important and telling statement. We will discuss that because that's going to be the focus. But before that, as a social activist, the people who are working with you, the areas that you're working in, how difficult has access really been?
Yeah, really, it's too difficult. It's too difficult to us when you see like people whom they live where we are today, just you can give them like from those people whom they don't have any side to catch or whom they don't have any power in their hands to leave the country. But those whom they I think whom they have a good condition, they flee from the country. Most of them, they are in neighboring country, like Egypt, Ethiopia, Eritrea, South Sudan, and Republic of, I think, Democratic of Congo, and many other African countries, and even the European countries. People are fully aware from the country, but people like us, we just stay in the country, not because we don't have a way to go out. Yes, we have a way to go out, but just we stay here because we are belong to here. Home is better than anywhere else.
Nassar, if I could ask you, is there any incident that really moved you in the recent past when you're working on the ground with humanitarian workers? Any incident that you can remember and tell us? Because the world needs to know. Half of the world does not even know of what's happening in Sudan and why it's happening.
Yeah, exactly. This is this. Yeah, exactly, for sure. Yeah, as a social activist and humanitarian person who has many or has many ways, and also who founded many initiatives. Personally, I have seen many different difficulties that stand before us as the social activists with my team. All like just we don't get any support from any side. What we do, just we are trying to do it with our own self. Yes, given from our buckets to help those whom they in need more than we do. This is how we are, and this is what the most difficult thing that we face it as a social activist here in Sudan with my team.
Okay. Now, there's a larger question over here. A lot has happened in Sudan, and it's been going on for a while now. It's only now culminating into what we're looking at, one of the worst massacres in El-Fasher. But the war between RSF and the army started quite some time ago. Why do you think the world has been silent?
Yeah, I think this is a complex question because I don't know why the world keep silence about what is going on in Sudan, but still talking about what happened in Ukraine and Gaza also, but they don't care about Sudan because we think that as we are African, that's the reason. Yes, I still need to understand this. Yeah, this is what came across to my mind and came across to every rest every other rest of Sudanese, because we're in Africa, nobody cares about us. But the same happened that in Ukraine and many different Eastern countries, Western countries, other humanitarian international organizations entered immediately. but not us.
That's quite unfortunate, Nasser, because when we started looking at what's happening in Sudan, and when we started looking at the visuals that were coming in, my newsroom was completely horrified. People who were working on the story absolutely horrified with what's happening on the ground in Sudan. But you were talking about proxy war and the silence. Let me tell you this, we've also come across protests that are happening to do with Gaza across the world now, where they're also talking about Sudan and countries that are supporting the RSF, which is leading to this kind of massacre and bloodshed. Now, can you shed some light on what's happening, countries that are involved, and why they're involved?
So, and actually, the world knows that very well. So, and even the world understand what country or which country exactly is sponsoring RSF to continue the war here inside Sudan. Yeah, it's well known. It's I think it's AEAS, which is called Emirate. It's supporting. That's what all happened. It's because of the something that they can get behind this war, which is unknown by other side, but in other side is well known because they want to control the El-Fasher, because there is a lot of resources that they need themselves, like gold, uranium, and something else like this. This is what we understand, and exactly this is what happened in this way. The Emirates supports RSF.
You're talking about UAE over here, that the UAE is supporting the RSF. How involved is the UAE when it comes to the gold mines? Because Dubai really does not have gold of its own. UAE does not really have gold mines of its own. So is it Darfur, which is what is under RSF's control?
Yeah. So I think, as you know, today the RSF controlling whole Darfur, not yes, not whole, and even also before the war, RSF controlling the mine. Also, it's but when we come to explain what exactly RSF uses behind that, is not a lot, by the way, not about money. Just they are given the gold in order to give them the weapons, because they want to take the country as whole, the way that we understand. But exactly this is what comes across to every youth minds here in Sudan. And actually, this is what happened and is still happening. And I think and I feel that Emirates will never give up supporting and inspiring RSF to continue, because it has a goal that want to achieve. And if they did not achieve it, they will never stop doing so. That's why we're calling the United Nations to enter and such this issue, and the world to stand with us to see the end of this war.
There have been a lot of calls, a lot of pleas. What's your hope, Nassar? How do you hope that things should move forward? What should the international community do? The United Nations coming out and urging is not good enough. What should be done on the ground? Which are the countries that Sudan is looking to solve this situation, where the army is in control and there should be a civilian government in place instead?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. I think it's not, as the citizens, we just want this war to stop, and those whom they displace it to return back to their home to be like who they were before. And we understood that, as we heard, like the army, they are trying to make a negotiation as soon as possible. But I think other parts, they did not agree with such this idea, because they have what they are going to get behind what is going on. They are refusing exactly to accept the idea of agreement. I think this is what exactly going on, and as a citizen, we wish that to stop as soon as possible.
Nassar Mohammed, thank you so much for joining us here on the network to explain what's really happening on the ground. It's a very, very terrible situation, and we only hope and pray that things get better, that there's a resolution, and that killing really stops. Because Sudan, certainly today, there could be Gaza and Ukraine, but Sudan today looks like one of the worst crises that we are looking at. In the history of civil wars. Like you said, this is not a civil war, it's a proxy war, and countries supporting this bloodshed should stop. Thank you so much, Nassar Mohammed.
Thank you so much. We appreciate for caring.